Hello everyone, this is our review of the Nissan NV 3500 passenger van. We recently, a little over a month ago, purchased this vehicle as our family was growing, and this is the one the van that we chose, and we're going to go over some points as to what we like about it, what we've learned about it, and I hope you enjoy. Pretty self-explanatory. Big windows, everyone can see from inside, and just a couple points in this area. The mirrors are great and big, and you can see all around you, which is necessary in a vehicle such as this. One of the things we liked about the van was the mirrors when you need to tow. They pull out. It's a little snug, but they pull out for towing, and then obviously go back in when you're not towing. It is a little tight there, but it works good. The back of the vehicle, we have base top. Door opens easily and locks kind of open that way. You got your handle here to open your second door. And this is how you'll use it most of the time. But if you need to swing your door open more, there's a latch here that you pull, and your door opens all the way. And on this side, there's a little magnet, so it'll keep it closed. And if you need to load something larger, we've got both. You can open both those up and then load things in and close it up again. Just pull it off, and it closes, latches itself, and closes snug. There is also a handle here that you can access from the inside. If you need to or want to exit from this door, you can do that from the inside. And then these are the magnets for keeping the door open. You've got your sensors here for when you're getting close to something. One thing we did notice is we were hearing beeps at random while we were driving the vehicle. And if a car gets close to you when you're parked or at a stoplight or something, it'll beep once. So that's what we learned that was. And we have the tow package here, and then there's the plug here for the power. And that's another feature we liked is the sliding door. Nissan put it on as a standard feature for this van, and a lot of the other passenger vehicles that you look at, like the the Ford or the Chevy, they generally come with the swinging doors, like a barn door. And those are harder to use from a number of people we've talked to that have those, especially with kids and families and pulling into parking spaces. So the sliding door is much easier to use, easier to get in and out, even when there's another car parked close to you. It's easy for kids to use. The space to get in and out of the van is also wider and bigger, so that just makes it very simple to use, and we really like that feature. That was important for us to get. Okay. The first Nissan passenger van that we test drove was the base model, and one of the reasons we decided the one we got now is the SL model. We decided on this one for one of the main reasons was the seat. This seat has a 6-way movement, so it was easier. My husband is 6'1", and he needed the seat to go back further. This model, the seat will go back far enough to give him enough leg room. The other reason was I like to sit up high in my cars, especially since this van does have a bit of a nose on it, and I like to be able to see over that as much as possible. So this seat gives me the chance to raise it up and get it just situated just right to where I feel comfortable driving. The steering wheel is another great feature. It's relatively small. I was driving a Suburban before, and the steering wheel actually on that was larger than this one. It also has buttons for controlling different features. Your cruise control is on the steering wheel, as well as volume for your radio. You can change some different things on your radio from the steering wheel. It also, if you have the navigation package, if your cell phone has Bluetooth, you can program it into the computer system here, and you can answer your phone from your steering wheel. There's also some different voice command things you can do, but there's a lot of control here on the steering wheel itself. The gauges in the front are easy to read. Your speedometer, there's some different things you can scroll through here, like your oil pressure, transmission temperature, battery life. Those things are pretty easy to go through. Not super complicated. Got your gas tank, engine temperature, that's about it. So if you get the SL model, you'll have the navigation system, which is also your stereo system, all together here. Comes with an XM option, and the screen is both touch screen, and there's buttons on the side to scroll through some of the different options and settings for your radio and your navigation. For button placements, we'll start on the side. You have your lights, and one thing we did notice is there's no automatic on option, so you have to physically turn your lights on and off every time. It was something I did have to get used to. My other vehicle had lights on all the time whenever they needed to be. So you also have your a defrost for your mirrors. You can turn it on and off here. There's your mirror movement here, so you can get your mirrors adjusted. And there's also the anti-skid button on this side. You can choose to turn it off if you'd like to, and that displays when you push the button, it displays off on your screen here. On this side, you have your controls for temperature. There's dual settings, so I can set my side a temperature I want, and the passenger can adjust to their side as they would like. And basic controls, defrost, it's easy to see and read the buttons to change your different settings for where you want your air to come out of, for defrost, feet, face, all that stuff. On the bottom here you have your USB outlet to plug in there. You also have your seat warmers. Passenger and driver have warmers for high and low, and your button here for charging. There is a regular outlet plug inside your console here, and you can choose between 400 watt when you are parked, or it will charge at 120 volts if you are actually moving down the road. So that was something we learned afterwards, is that when you're actually traveling, you can't charge at the higher power. You have your tow mode button, and also there's a button where you can turn off or on your sensors in the front and back for distance-wise, for proximity. So if you're getting close to something, you can choose to turn that off if you want to. Where that would come in handy, what we learned is we got some snow and ice, and the sensors got covered with some ice, and they thought we were right next to something and beeping the whole entire time we were driving, so we turned it off. So for storage in the front part of the vehicle, there's a drawer under the driver's seat that pulls out, and as a mother of small children, the first thing I thought when I saw that was, that's a great place to put some diapers. So I have some diapers in there and some first aid stuff. It's completely out of the way, doesn't get trampled on or anything, and so I like that drawer. Another thing in the center console is huge. The front does move up, and to become like a riding tray for if it's a work van or something. I haven't personally used that or anything, but could come in handy. For the center console is huge. It's basically a big open space. There's a regular outlet plug in there that I mentioned before. It comes with a tray. You can put your smaller items, money, in the top there, and it's a big open space. You can fit bags or CDs or whatnot you have that you need to put in there. Also on the center console, you've got 4 cup holders here, and there's a little cubby hole kind of down further, another slot up top for different items. There's definitely a lot of storage and space to put things from this driver's seat. On your side doors, both on your passenger and on your driver's side, there's a slot. It's big enough to hold water bottles, books. I put various items in there sometimes, but it's just a big, sturdy, deep space to put things, and that's on both sides. One last storage spot on the driver's seat is there's a pocket in the front right-hand side here, specifically for your cell phone, and I was all excited to use it, and I put my phone in there the first time, and then I forgot it was there, and it was lost for 2 days. So don't forget you have that there to use, but it is handy to slide your phone in there, and especially when your phone rings, if you have it plugged up or hooked up with the Bluetooth, it'll ring, and you can answer it without having to pull it out of that slot. So just don't forget it's there. So the top console above your head here controls your temperature for the back of the vehicle. You've got your heat and then your fan. Lights there, there's a reading light on either side that you can turn on if you want to individually, and there's also a slot for sunglasses up there. And your sun visors are large, and they are, one thing we did notice was there's not a mirror on either side of that, but there is a little pocket that you can slide some paperwork into if needed. One of the things that we liked about this vehicle as well over some of the other ones that are on the market are the seats. They are designed for a full-grown person, and anyone who's had more than one car seat in a car at a time, they take up a lot of space. And so this, and our children are going to grow and become full-grown people. So they have, all the seats have headrests on them, and one of the best things that we liked was the seat belts. They are all attached to the seat itself, so as you're climbing into the back, it's very easy to get back in and out. You're not climbing through and around and under seat belts and getting strangled by them, which I have had happen before. So we really like the seats. They're very easy to use. There's also different ways that you can move them around. They're easy to take out and put in if needed. And the first 2 rows are 3 seats, and so it's a double that are together, and there's a single seat. And in these first 2 rows, there are 2 cup holders that are underneath the seat here that slide out and then back in when they're not in use. So your first 2 rows are going to be that way, and your back row is a 4-seater, and so it's 2 sections that come out separately if you want to, or you can take out both to have the full back open. And there's a lot of variety and versatility in the way that you can situate your seats, move them around as needed, and it was just a good feature for us to customize exactly how you need it when you need it. The lights at the top, you can have different settings of off all the time. You can have it turn on when you open the doors, or on all the time. And there's a set of lights for each row, and you can also turn them on as a reading light or off. And one thing, my kids were in the back row and they wanted to read some books, so they turned on the lights back there when we were driving at night, and it didn't interrupt my driving ability at all. So it was kind of nice for them to be able to go back there and see what they were reading in the dark, and not bother me while I was driving. Overall, we really do like the Nissan NV. It's a vehicle that is easy to drive. It will grow with our family. It's comfortable inside and has versatility that and options that you don't always find in a vehicle of this size. So I hope you enjoyed the review, and we'll see you later.